Is this true? You've played Cabaret. You played this in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s,
and my 50s.
and your 50s,
Yes.
and you just turned earlier this year 60.
I know, it's hard to believe.
So that question is, will you be playing Cabaret in your 60s?
No. And so we meet again, my faithful and not so faithful friends. Today you raised $20,000 for the prize fund, which is now a statuesque $55,000 and growing by the day. But the traitors amongst us, their confidence is high because they have yet to taste defeat at the round table. Here is where all that can change. Players, the floor is yours.
Welcome to Behind the Lens. Today, I gotta tell you, this guy's been behind the lens, in front of the lens, every kind of thing you could possibly do. Actor, director, producer, writer, columnist, author of 3 books, 2 memoirs, a performer, anything you can name, winner of the BAFTA Award, 2 Emmys, 2 Tonys, Olivier, and so many other awards. This is Alan Cumming. Welcome to Behind the Lens.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming in. You know, on IMDb, it's so interesting to me. Sometimes they have a little preview and they say known for, you know, who is this performer known for? Can you guess the 4 things that they say you're known for?
Traitors, Spy Kids.
Right. So far, you're wrong 2 for 2.
Am I really? X-Men, The Good Wife.
No.
Really? I give up.
Okay, they say you're known for Anniversary Party.
Oh, I am.
Which I'm dying to talk to you because I love that film.
Right.
GoldenEye.
Oh, yes, I was in that. Yeah.
Okay, James Bond.
Yeah, these are relevant.
X2. And the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas.
That's hilarious. I was in that. I played 2 parts in that.
Mick Jagged, right?
Mick Jagged, the Rocky rocker, and the Great Gazoo. I was just supposed to be the Great Gazoo just initially. Then at the read-through, I read the part of Mick Jagged because they hadn't cast him, and so then they asked me to play him too.
Might as well do it, right?
Why not? In for a penny.
You do so many things, but you're a producer as well.
Indeed.
And you've been a producer of many things. One of your Tonys came as a producer on Strange Loop.
Yes, that was it's a beautiful musical called A Strange Loop. That it was so funny. Like, what I love is when you find I saw it off Broadway and I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I sort of championed it. And then they asked me initially to become an investor. And then, so I was a proper producer because I put some of my money in it. Where my mouth is.
You know, it's so many things. Of course, you won the Tony for actor in a musical lead actor in Cabaret. Is this true? You've played Cabaret. You played this in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s,
and my 50s.
And your 50s, and you just turned earlier this year 60.
I know, it's hard to believe.
So that question is, will you be playing Cabaret in your 60s?
No. Like when I did it last, I finished in 2015, and I'd done it on Broadway 16 years before, and we finished it, and I turned 50 that year, and I just thought that's kind of why I did it. So I wonder if I can, if I can still do it. A lot of dancing and everything. And then someone said to me, so so in 16 more years, will you do it again? I was like, I'll be 66. Like, I've been shoved into that little harness thing. I don't think that's going to work. And I said, if I do it again, I'll play Fräulein Schneider. That would be a good part for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Although who knows? That's only 6 years away. I suppose maybe I
why not?
I can pop on a dance belt.
They just have the revival right now on Broadway. 6 years go by. Why not? Do it.
I really could die happy never seeing another production of Cabaret or ever being in it. I mean, it's not, I'm very proud of it and I loved it and it was such a huge thing for me, but it's one of these things like, when I hear myself, like if I, on Instagram, what people often put, well, more recently it was Money, the song, me singing the song Money was used in loads of things, as a sort of comment of our present state of affairs. But, and I would just be like, I can't stand, like our Veilcom, and I actually hate so much that whenever I do a host an awards or do a thing, And the people at the pre-meeting, they all say, wouldn't it be great if you started the show by singing Veal Common from Cabaret? And I go, well, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. But then I did it just recently for John Kander, who is the composer of all those shows.
Of course.
He turned, I think he was 96 or something.
He's
96. And they had this gala for him on Broadway, and I hosted it. So they asked me to, and I did it, of course, for him. So I sang it again, but I screwed it up. I missed a bit out. Yeah. And I didn't notice until I'd finished. But I missed it's so crazy. I've just sung that song a gazillion times, but I screwed it up.
That's amazing.
But the public didn't know.
I wanted to talk about these Emmys because everyone also knows you very well from The Good Wife, and you were nominated 3 times for Emmys for that.
Yeah, was it? Yes, quite a few times, and never won. It was so funny. Someone was Someone was asking me last night about it, and I said, who won? I said, it was always Peter Dinklage for Game of Thrones. He always won. I was furious. And, I love him. I think he's great. So, yeah. And then I got nominated another couple of times as well for other things. But, yeah, finally, yes. Who would have thunk it would be like hosting a competition reality show?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah,
because you were so great as Eli Gold and so many other acting performances and things. And here you come. And actually, I think, and maybe you can correct me, but I think you're acting on the Traitors too.
I think of it as a role, a character I'm playing. So I'm hosting this show, but I am a character. Yeah, very much so. And I stay in character throughout it. I don't, in gaps between filming, I don't chat to the players or anything. I go away and I don't sort of, sometimes I see them when they've finished, when they've been murdered or butchered out. They come back to do their interviews and I'm getting out of the car and I say hello to them there. But it's actually at the press things that I feel like I'm meeting them for the first time as well, even though I've done all these things with them for all that time. So it's definitely a role. I think of him as this certain person and he's got this sort of certain characteristics. So yeah.
It was not a surprise to me at all finally to see you win as best host, first of all. And for the show, because it's so unique in that reality competition, whatever you want to call it, format. And usually at the Emmys, if something wins in that category, it wins year after year after year. The Amazing Race did it, of course, RuPaul. And now I think we're on to the Traitors. I'm going to make a bet here.
Oh, are you on that?
Alan
that's nice.
Cumming, I'm going to make a bet.
How much?
This $5.
Oh, God. All right, bravo. Well, that would be lovely, of course. Yeah. And yes, but one never presumes. I found it really hilarious last year because RuPaul's Drag Race had won so many times, and also Ru had won the award I won so many times, and everyone said Alan Cumming topples Ru, as though he's some sort of big tree that was getting slowly, like a sequoia tree in the forest. I chopped him down, and then I saw him at the award for hosting was at the first ones, the creative Emmys, which I always think is hilarious. Like as though the primetime ones, those people aren't creative. It's so interesting that that's the word you would choose.
Yeah. A little bit of semantics there. But
I know, I love it. But I'm creative, I'm primetime. And I saw him at those, and I'd won the week before, you see, but I couldn't go. And I saw him, we were going to various press things before the awards, and my husband just went, oh, there's Ru. And I just saw him, and he's a giant, and I had a big hat on. And I went over and I just went up and I went, I am so sorry. Like I'd run over his dog or something. I was just so like, oh gosh, I'm sorry. And he just went, congratulations. And I thought it was actually worth winning the Emmy just to hear RuPaul say that to me. It's like, I didn't have to get into drag.
He's probably got 10 Emmys.
He's got 1,000, yeah.
But it's so well deserved when you see what you do on this show and walking in, and it is like a character. But we're watching the host even more than the contestants, my opinion. We really are. What are you going to do next?
But I think it's sort of. I mean, the whole thing is sort of. It's this sort of conceit that they're in this castle and people are getting murdered. So it's like a game. The hilarious thing is that they do sort of get into this bubble. And they do sort of actually believe they are terrified of being murdered and things like that.
Yes.
And as it goes on, you see them getting more and more sort of bonkers. Like they get more irrational because they're obsessed. Have nothing else to think about. So it's all about this. It's all about make believe and about them playing a character. So it's got this theatricality to it in its very structure.
Yeah.
So, and that's when they asked me to do it, we talked about it immediately in that way, that it was sort of I mean, the original reference was like a James Bond villain. And that's when my dog's in it. That's why I could pat.
I love your dog.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she? Yes.
She's very sweet.
Lala.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hilarious. She gets recognized on the street.
She does.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, and it's even when I'm not with her. It's like, obviously, if I'm there, people get it. And sometimes now it's kind of nice that people will want to talk to me, but they'll talk to Lala instead. But sometimes if she's with my husband or my assistant or something, she still gets recognized.
She's a TV star.
She certainly is.
She's there, and you know the barking and all of that.
That's all dubbed. She doesn't.
That's dubbed.
That's not Lala. No, Lala. She barks maybe twice a year. Maybe, or if I forget to give her her dinner or something, she'll bark. But no, she's not a barking kind of dog. She never, like, the doorbell rings, she can care less. So she's not, and she doesn't make any. I mean, occasionally she'll, like, sometimes she'll have a dream and she whimpers. But I mean, really, she's a very silent dog, and also that's why I think she's kind of like a silent movie star. Yeah. Because she conveys so much by non-verbally. So on the show in the Traitors, they have a sort of sound library dog. Yeah. Who does a little. Like, that's not her at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's absolutely. There was some dog somewhere getting residuals from voicing Lala.
No doubt, right?
I hope so.
Somebody's getting the residuals.
I hope so.
But that's a great touch on it, too. And, of course, the outfits. I got to ask you, I don't know who the costume designer is.
He's called Sam Spector.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You're always in something new and outrageously great.
Yes, and it's sort of got more and more nuts as the seasons have gone on. This last one, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people say to me, "Oh, do you keep the clothes from the show?" And like in the first season, they basically came and plundered my wardrobe, and I have an inordinate amount of tartan suits. Yeah, it seems. And so they sort of augmented them with like capes and blah blah blah, all the stuff. But then in the second, so since then, I don't have any more tartan suits to offer them. So, but like then the first season, I kept some of the things. The second season rather as well, I kept some of the things. And now this past one we just done, it was like I can't wear any of these things. They're so outrageous. I took some of the shoes, but it's so nuts. You'll see it. It's got even more kind of sort of fantastical. And also a lot of the times I would think, I love that jacket or something, I'm going to take that. And then I would have it and they would say, "Oh, can we have it back? Because we've got to do an exhibition or something." It keeps being in all these exhibitions and things. Oh, all the clothes, because Sam's work everybody loves it so much. And so it's annoying that they have to come into your wardrobe and you think, where did I put that hat? Things like that. So I just let them keep it now.
It's very cool. In fact, it's gotten a little bit out of control because I got this.
Oh, you got a dressing gown. What do you call it? To make a robe?
The wildest
thing
with the Traitors.
Yes,
there it is with this over it and the whole thing.
You can play.
They are really promoting this show in style, I have to say.
Yes, very good merch.
Yeah, right.
There was a bag with Lala's face on it last year. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Actually, it was really good. There was things, I signed some things last night because we had a pop-up Club Cumming, my bar in New York. We had a pop-up one at the Abbey here in LA for Pride. Oh. And they had these, I wasn't able to go. I think I was in Scotland filming, but they had these little what do you call it in America? Tank tops with, and it said sort of faithful on it. So it was, I signed some last night, but I didn't realize I would have kept them if I'd known that they were nice tank tops.
Oh.
Because I don't really like a t-shirt. I'm not a t-shirt man.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy a sleeveless t-shirt or a tank top or a long sleeve shirt. But sort of this middle bit, I think, why?
Oh, yeah.
Why stop there? Choose a lane.
Boy, I have 14 boxes in my garage. I've been in this business a while too, have been given t-shirt after t-shirt with everything on it. And they're all the same. They're, except they've got a different logo.
What are you going to do with them?
I put them in my garage. I can't throw anything away.
Are you a hoarder?
I'm a hoarder of unique showbiz stuff. I don't have to keep everything.
So it's not any old thing you keep. We've got so much stuff in the world now.
Yes, yeah, too much.
Yeah, too much stuff. Like, when you open your drawer and you've got 17 of those. Yeah. And I think, what am I going to do with these before? I'll probably not even use them all before I die.
No. The next thing they need to give out, maybe they have, I just haven't gotten it yet, but a mask, because this is to lead in to asking you how you do that when they're all blindfolded.
Oh, yes.
Without giving it away that you're picking a traitor.
It is so terrifying. It is the scariest part of the whole thing.
And that's all on the legit. You're just doing that, or they don't know
nobody knows.
anything,
Oh, no.
obviously.
No. And also, we don't really decide until after, like right before that, I do this big talk. It's called the Gold something chats. And there's a big pile of gold on a table, and I chat to them all and ask them about their, whatever, get to know them for the first episode. And then we choose after that. So it's very, and I've got a thing in my ear. And so when Sam, the producer, talks to me, I can hear the room he's in, and I can feel the tension. You can hear when people are uptight, and also there's so many of them at the table at that point. It's really hard to get your hand in because there's just tons of them, and there seems to be more each year. They're very nervous, and also they have those eye masks on for like a long time, blindfolds, a long time, because I go around. First of all, I go around and I touch everyone, so that we've got it on camera.
Oh, perfect.
And then I go round and round, and obviously I'm just really aware because when you have a blindfold, how much more better your ears become. So they're really listening. So I kind of do funny things with the fabric of my shirt and stop and creak, the floor creaks, and it goes on and on and on and on. And then they go like, okay, now do the first one. Now you're going for blah blah, and they try not to say the name. It's always like it's 7:00 or something. And I'm like, I remember who it is. And then I go and do it, but it's just so scary to sort of, because you could blow it. I mean, the whole thing would be terrible if I.
The whole souffle falls.
It would be awful. Yeah. It would be awful. So it's such a relief when it all. And my favorite bit is when they take the blindfolds off, because I'm so fascinated by how people, like some people are just like this, that, and other people. There was that boy from Tom from the restaurant show. It was like this. Like kind of a weird fish. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So it's a really fascinating glimpse into people's psyches, actually. As a sociological exercise, it is such a privilege to be able to be me and to see all that happening and to see these people and get more and more mad. I mean, literally mad. They make very irrational decisions, and they become like a pack, and make these sort of like Lord of the Flies. I was like Lord of the Flies with Botox is how I describe it to people.
It's really interesting what this brings out. And also the contestants, they're all like professional reality show people, a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
They've been on this one, that one, Bachelor in Paradise.
I know, who knew? I didn't know there was a whole you can have a whole career of having been in a reality show, you have a whole career being in other reality shows. That's also been fascinating to me because I had no idea about a lot of these shows. And like in some of the press things, I would say to you, gosh, so I didn't know your show. Like, and how long have you done it? And like 17 seasons. I'm like, how can that be? I'm like a person in the entertainment industry. And there's things going on that I just think there's too many television shows. That must be what it is.
Yeah.
Well, but there are, there's lots of that reality thing. What that means is that they come to the show with their shtick. They understand the heightened nature of it. They actually understand. They have a character too. A lot of them. Do you know what I mean? They have a sort of a persona.
Yeah, I love the finale of this most recent season, the third season, because
what happened?
The faithfuls.
Oh yeah, they all
won.
I know, isn't that nice?
Isn't that so good?
I really felt that was what America needed. Do you know what I mean? I think it's so interesting.
It gives you hope.
Yes. It was a lovely, because there was so much Sturm and Drang earlier on in this thing, like when the traitors were all going, it was so much chaos. And then it ended in this really lovely way. It's endlessly fascinating to me, this show, because it's so controlled by chance and the personalities involved and how each season, so we've done 4 now, and how each season is so different. Even though the structure is kind of the same.
Have you shot 4?
Yeah.
And that's going to start airing in January.
Again,
So you already have
yes, we shot that in June in Scotland. So it's a corker. Just what I'm wearing is even more insane, if you can imagine. And I think in a funny sort of, I thought it was just about that we all like watching people lie, because we all lie every day in various forms. We can watch people doing it and seeing how and sometimes they have to lie, they're forced to lie, and deceive, and how that's really sort of, for all of us, we're fascinated by that, because it's a very sort of integral part of our psyches as well. But now I just think it's this idea of slowly watching people assimilate and become a pack. And then having to deceive at the same time. It's kind of cruel.
I have to tell you, I'm just so glad you have time to do other things, because we love seeing you act. And coming next month. Is it Glenrothan?
Oh, Glenrothan, yeah.
It's directed by Brian Cox.
I know.
And
Yes. It's actually I think it's on. Oh, is it
Toronto
TIFF?
Film
Yeah,
Festival.
it's at Toronto in September. Yeah.
It's going to have its world premiere in September, and it's taken you back to Scotland as well.
Well, that was last year. I was there for so long because I mean I'm there all the time, but I mean I did 2 films in Scotland last year. This Glenrothan, and then this other one called Bodhes and Me. But I was on Glenrothan a lot longer, and it's about these 2 brothers, one of whom has gone away to America to become a blues singer. That's me. And Brian Cox, who stayed at home at the family distillery. And then, he's getting a bit old, and there's an I Come Back. And so it's a really lovely film, actually. I really liked it. I saw it quite recently. And there's a girl, Shirley Henderson is in it.
Oh, okay.
And it was so great because she and I, the very first job she ever did out of drama school, it was a TV series with me in 1986.
Oh, my
And I was her boyfriend.
Wow.
And then so 38 years later, we're sort of playing love interests again.
Oh, she's so wonderful.
She's amazing. We're actually going to. I now run this theatre in Scotland, and we're talking to Shirley about coming to do a show there. And I think she's brilliant. And also, she's in that great thing on Netflix right now. What's it called? Department Q. Have you seen that?
Oh, no.
She's really good in that.
Really good. Oh, wow. Cool. And you are shooting, I think, right now, Avengers Doomsday.
I just finished. Yeah.
You just finished. Now, that is interesting to me because we're seeing Nightcrawler again. You did that, obviously, in X2, but you didn't want to do it again, I heard, right after that, to come back and do it at one time to follow it up.
No, that's true. I didn't want to do it again, but they had an option on me. It wasn't my choice. They just didn't pick up the option so it's not. Yeah. It wasn't my choice not to be in it again.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't want to.
You didn't.
It was such a hideous experience. Yeah. But it wasn't like everyone thinks, oh, the makeup was too. It wasn't that. It was just they didn't write me in.
So how, after all these years, have you come back to?
Yeah. Well, it was so funny because we got this call from the Marvel people, and they were obviously hugely secretive about it. And I went into the meeting with Kevin, and I didn't know, we didn't know whether it was to be Nightcrawler again or to be another person, another character.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything about it, actually. And so, and it was so funny that when they told me what it was Nightcrawler and everything, it actually was and they're so nice. Yeah. I mean, absolutely lovely. And the Russo brothers who are lovely.
Yeah. Super nice.
I mean, it was, it was actually sounds a bit sort of, schlocky, but it was a very healing thing to do because I think X2 is a great film.
Yeah.
But I had really, truly one of the most miserable experiences of my working life doing it. And so to go back and play that character again and sort of have some closure. Yeah. I mean, I saw Jimmy Morrison said that he felt the same way about it, so called it closure. And I think that's, for me too, it was actually a really lovely thing to do. And also I really never thought I would be playing a superhero again. Not at age, I just turned 60. You just don't think these things are going to happen. But that's what I love about this business you call show. These things you never know what's around the corner.
It's like
and things come back into your life in a lovely way.
Yeah, so much stuff you would never dream of revisiting.
No, like hosting a competition reality show in a castle with a huge cape.
And having them say, here, take another Emmy. We're giving you more because...
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. The whole thing's pretty crazy. And then being a superhero, it's so interesting getting older, how things kind of come back into your life. I wrote a sitcom with my friend in the 90s in Britain called The High Life. And now we're doing it. It was a huge thing in Scotland. And now we're doing it as a musical. Next spring, we're taking it out as we've written a musical with our friend Johnny. And that's an amazing thing to just go back to something I wrote in the 90s, And actually my friend Forbes, who I wrote, we made up these other characters in the 80s. And last year, it was the 40th anniversary of when we made them up. So we put a book out.
Oh my God.
So it's it seems insane to actually say things like that how things took so long or are so long ago. But it's actually really lovely that you still have those people in your life and you're still connected to those experiences.
Well, before we go, I just want to mention, I mentioned I loved the anniversary party. Jennifer Jason Leigh. You co-wrote it, you co-directed it, you co-starred in it, you did everything. A real good indie hit, as they say. It made its mark.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting kind of story, too.
I mean, to me, it's a really great experience because what we did was we basically did it our way. We had an idea.
Yeah.
Then we got a certain group of actors.
Yeah.
And we were only going to get those actors available on this 1 month.
Yeah.
So we went to the studio. It wasn't an independent film, actually. It was actually a studio film. It was Fine Line, a New Line and Fine Line. And so, everyone thinks of it. I mean, it was in their indie sort of wing, and we said to them, you can like take it or leave it. You know, we went around with various places and we sold it to them. And so it was the first studio picture to be ever shot on digital video.
That is amazing.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
So you were a pioneer in this.
Yes, I'm a digital video pioneer. Who knew? I know. I mean, and that was 25 years ago. We did clever things to sort of...
It looked like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think now you don't know, but in those days it was a big thing to change. It's so funny to think back to working on film, how stressed you would be about going for a take. It was like, okay, here we go. It's like the first night, or like everyone's clenched buttocks and it's like, you're going to waste any money. And now with the idea that you just pick it up and go on and, there's not that tension in your work anymore. Right. I think it's really changed it. But that was what we wrote for these characters, for specific people. We, made it ourselves. We did it. We had it a certain way on the set. It was very egalitarian. We didn't have trailers. Everyone just kind of went to, the person who got the thing that got paid the most in the whole film was the house. The house wanted overtime at one point. And I was like, no, I will not let the house
up in the hills somewhere or something.
Yes, the amazing architect whose name I forget right now. But yeah, it's really a beautiful house. So yeah, we're actually, have been toying with the idea of doing a sequel. Sort of, it was going to be 25 years on. I guess it'll be 30 years on now. But then we both got a bit busy. But we had a good story. Again, it's that thing coming back to those characters, seeing where they are all these years on.
It totally would
be fascinating. Yeah.
Well, I think I've stumbled onto something here. It might be
another
one that you revisit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I see that. We already sort of started, but then we kind of put it to one side. But I think, I'm keen to pick that up in the future with Jennifer.
I am so excited. There's so much stuff. I mean, in your career, I have to really tell you, it is a remarkable career. People have said it. Stanley Kubrick, you even worked with on Eyes Wide Shut, his very last film.
Yes.
I mean, it was one scene, but it was a great scene with you and Tom Cruise. That played
memorable.
The clerk.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is crazy. I still can't believe that he let me get away with that. I see it. I see the people show clips of it all the time, and it's just one. They show the clip of it, and I just think, oh my God, Stanley. I kept saying, that's too much, Stanley. That's too much. Don't. And he was like, no, go on. So that's why I'm like this crazed person.
Wow. Can you imagine yourself, growing up and saying, well, one day I'll be telling Stanley Kubrick,
no,
this is how I want.
I mean, when I grew up, I didn't even know who Stanley Kubrick was. I suppose I didn't even know. I didn't know. I grew up in this country estate in the middle of Scotland. My dad was a forester. I didn't even realize you could be an actor. I saw a show came to my school, a little theatre and education troupe, and I thought I wanted to do that, but I didn't realize that was acting. Do you know what I mean? And that you could go to a college and learn about it. Yeah. There was only somebody else that I knew did it, and I thought, and I got the thing. So I had a very it was a very sheltered upbringing, and it certainly was so all this stuff. It was completely alien to me. I mean, it just was nothing in terms of all movies and sort of TV and all that, and Hollywood and Broadway. I mean, even when I went to Broadway the first time, I remember on the opening night, the press lady, I saw her and I said, "Oh, thanks so much. Well, I'm not going to see you again. The show's open now, and it's going to be, thank you so much. You've been lovely." And she looked at me like I was a sort of a naive little, weirdo, and she said, "But Alan, I'll see you all the time. Awards season's about to start." And I was like, awards season? Like, I didn't know what that meant. And I actually like the fact that I sort of have come to this at, certainly I came to America at a later age. I didn't come to America at all until I was 30. Yeah. I mean, I've been working as an actor since I was, I went to drama school when I was 17. I think I still have an outsider's eye on this and my life. And I, go back and forward all the time between Scotland and here. And so I still have a perspective that is, I had a whole life and a whole career and a whole life before I even set foot in America. And so it's actually refreshing for me that I have this life now, because I enjoy it and I can see it for what it is. And I don't think I'm consumed by it. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate, doing the Traitors and having this, because it's just such fun. And it's such fun. I laugh like a drain. And it's, it's, as I say, it's like this bird's eye view on this incredible sociological experiment that you are actually a part of.
It's so much fun to watch too. And I can't thank you enough for coming and being part of this award season here. This is Alan Cumming. The show that we've been talking about here is The Traitors. You can see it on Peacock. If you're one of the few people that haven't seen it yet, you're in for a real treat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was lovely.